Hey guys, I'm Jim, joined today with Matt from Liberty Systems. Liberty makes our nitrogen generation systems. So we're doing a little vendor spotlight, kind of behind the scenes on what it takes to make SendCutSend work. Liberty has been a great partner for us for many, many years. We use bulk nitrogen, like liquid nitrogen, in our cutting process, as well as generated. But today we kind of wanted to talk about like why we went with Liberty in an on-demand system versus like a storage type system for nitrogen. So what's the difference?
That's actually a really good question. It's kind of one of the confusing things in the industry too. What is on-demand? What is storage? And a quick explanation is on-demand, it's your peak flow rate 24/7. You're always going to have that peak flow rate. If you're using a lower flow rate, it's just less duty cycle on the system. So just think of always having enough flow. A storage system, they're going to look at what's your average flow rates, what's your average material you're cutting, and they're going to have a smaller nitrogen generator, and then they're going to have a really high PSI booster, and they're going to store it into cylinders.
So that's how Liberty absorbs peak by sizing it correctly.
Yeah.
Storage systems try and absorb peak by having a lot of storage that they could dump in an emergency kind of thing?
Yeah, but here's where the issue comes in, is if I have a leak, or let's say your steel didn't come in, or something happens, right, where it changes your norm of what you want to cut each day. A rush job comes in, I have to cut thicker. Those storage systems are telling you what your future is, right? Yeah. So if I had thinner material I'm cutting today, but a job came in and you want to take it and it's thicker, you can't do it.
No, and so to just background, we've had both systems. We've had mostly Liberty at one location. We did try another like cube type company.
Yeah.
Because it made sense, like the way they sold it to us.
Small footprint.
But you're exactly right. It had no surge capacity, and if things didn't go exactly perfect, we could almost never catch up with it.
Yeah.
So once you dump those high pressure storage tanks,
Did they tell you to add more cylinders?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you run out of storage for cylinders, and then even with all the cylinders, you still can't catch up, and then it takes longer to fill up the cylinders.
I mean, if you look at it, it's just for ease of numbers. Let's just say I need 10,000 cubic feet, and I have 10 hours of downtime, right? I'm going to build 1,000 cubic feet each hour for 10 hours, then I'm going to have 10,000 cubic feet in these cylinders, right? And let's just say your peak flow rate was 6,000 cubic feet an hour, right?
Yep.
If you deplete that storage or you cut thicker, you can't, because the generator making it only is 1,000 cubic feet an hour.
Yes. The only way to add, you have to add more horsepower. You have to add another generator.
On the front end, not the back end. And what I see, the mistake I see in the industry is when these are undersized, it's adding more cylinders. That means you need more time.
Yeah.
I don't have time. You need it on the front end.
Yeah. So, sorry, we should probably talk in layman's terms about the different systems. So, an on-demand system, the air comes in, gets turned into nitrogen, goes to my plant in a matter of seconds. Yeah. And it can do that all day long, 24 hours a day. Whereas the storage system takes that air, turns it into nitrogen, and then compresses it to like 4,500 PSI in basically like scuba tanks or like welding tanks,
Exactly.
So the idea, like where those systems kind of make sense, is if you're a small shop and you're running one shift.
Yeah.
Maybe you get electricity really cheap at night or something. You're like, okay, cool. I can have this thing charge overnight, and then when I walk in on Tuesday morning, I have my nitrogen to run for the day, and I'm good to go. We thought that would work.
Yeah.
But it turns out once you start running a little harder, you run a second shift, all of a sudden that thing turns into an on-demand system, and they suck at being on-demand systems.
Oh, no, you can't. Well, it's not designed to do that, right? So, that's why, I mean, we build storage systems, right? Like you said, if you're a couple hours a day, maybe one shift, I have 16 hours of downtime, right? So it may make sense in that standpoint, but do you plan on only having one laser forever and staying at your revenue for the year, every year, or do you want to grow?
Yeah, if you were like an OEM where, actually like knife guys who have a laser and they're going to cut 100 blanks a day or something like that, some of those systems make sense because they're like, dude, I only turn my laser on from the time I get coffee to lunchtime, and then I'm grinding knives for the rest of the day.
Maybe.
That's totally fine. However, that's a big challenge to get your equipment utilization. You just invested in a really expensive laser and the whole ecosystem to support it, and then you're only running it like 4 hours a day. It's really tough to get that payback. So our philosophy has always been if we buy good equipment, I want it running 24 hours a day, and those storage systems just can't keep up.
No, they can't, but they serve a purpose, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we do it. You know, I would say 95, if not more, % of our sales is lasers. But I mean, we do lead generation, heat treating, food packaging. There's other applications where storage makes sense. I truly believe storage makes sense in heat treating applications where I have a huge volume real quick and then I bake for 5 hours. So I have downtime, right? Okay. So I have a cycle and the storage system plays with that cycle. Whereas if we look at a laser, it's not really the cycle time of the laser, the beam on time, it's nanoseconds, right? So I don't believe that the storage systems truly keep up for what you need, and I like on demand.
Well, if you do choose to go to a storage type system, a cube type system, it's great if you're never going to change your customer base, you're never going to change your mix, and your demand is incredibly predictable. Because what'll happen, like we're a job shop, we have no idea what we're going to be doing that morning, or like in an hour. I have no idea what we're going to be cutting because the order just
slides something in.
Yeah, so all of a sudden, one day you have to cut, 200 sheets of 1/4-inch thick aluminum. Like you're going to blow through. However big your storage system is, you're going to be done, and it can't recover.
And that's one of my things is I like making sure when I'm doing my scope questions, right? I have all the details, so I make sure that you're making a good investment, right? And ultimately saving you money. And when I look in the storage systems, there's so many variables that you have in your shop. So it's sometimes I feel risky selling a storage system because I know things change. So I always feel more comfortable selling a customer a system that I know is always going to hit those peak flow rates.
I sound like a salesman, but I'm not supposed to. This isn't supposed to be a sales thing. I will say that going with an on-demand system is more future-proof. It allows you to have flexibility. That storage system is going to tie you into something great for like small shop, maybe just starting out, something like that. Otherwise, on-demand should be something that you consider. Other thing I wanted to say, the difference in components is wild. Like compared to the other vendor that we used you guys, like Kaiser compressors, like really good quality fittings and chillers and all that stuff. When you get one of these like one and done things, you open up the panels and you're like, I can't read any of the writing on these. Like who knows where the hell that compressor came from. The chiller is like some off-brand, whatever. And when things go down, you can't just like go to the local repair guy and get it. You're usually...
So like pay me now or pay me later, right?
Yeah.
You were talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, we build quality stuff. Like I said, it's not the cheapest in the block, but we want to be able to provide you with a long-lasting system and help you grow, and we grow with you guys.
Yeah, it works out great. So a little behind the scenes with Liberty Systems. Shout out to Matt if you're interested in one of these things. I think we're splitting commission on this.
We said 60-40.
Yeah, okay, fine. Anyway, for more information, we're going to be doing a few series like this, not only on Liberty, but other vendors too. So thanks for watching, and love you, bye.